welcome to In the Spirit of Things, and welcome everybody tonight. Folks, it's a beautiful night, and I'm going to share a little bit. Matter of fact, folks, we had a really good class last Saturday, and we got everything started, and the problem is that nobody showed up to class, even though there were 64,000 of you. And anyways, part of that's my fault, so I'm going to resolve that here and now so that everybody can get their books and papers. Matter of fact, my producer's been hard at work actually putting my post everywhere so that everybody could actually go get their documents that we covered last week and last week's call. So if you missed last week, then you'll be able to play catch-up, and it'll be a beautiful thing. So, folks, for those of you who are on, they came in through the freedomreigns.us port. If you look at the home page and go down to, now we have privateist.me, second from the bottom, and you can go into, matter of fact, into the healing page and click right on it, and that will get you into some information that we posted on what we provide over at the site, which is educational information, MP3s, attachments, documents. This is all free for our brothers and sisters to basically understand how big pharma works, the FDA, and how it's all controlled. And it's a beautiful thing, but if you take a look at it, you have these privatist.me blue icons. And folks, if you haven't had a chance to sign up, this will be the week to sign up so that we can all stay on track starting next week's class, because I'm going to cover the banking system as well as a little bit on the SESQV trust. So, because that's very, very important, because if you don't understand how the system actually works, it's a debt monetized system. There's no money of substance. It's all hypothecation. Then it's going to be lost on you on how they can get away with the stuff they do, but also how you can affect sort of remedies once you understand how that system works. But we're going to talk next Saturday on the banking system. And we're going to go to that end of the pond. I'll have attachments for everybody so they'll be able to pick them up. I'll have it posted probably by Monday. So those that have actually signed up, folks, because, like I said, we had 64,000 people show up last week or last Saturday, and I'm not going to do a class curriculum for 12 people because that means everybody's absent or basically not interested. So I'm going to make this very easy this week. I want everybody in class for next Saturday, so everybody will be able to play catch-up. Matter of fact, if you didn't get a chance to see what a birth certificate bond looks like, now you're going to get a chance to see what one truly looks like, and you can re-listen to the audio if you need to, because I covered the birth certificate bond and what was said on the document with Mary Croft. And by the way, Mary Croft and Santos Bonacci, yes, they're members on privatist.me as well. So if people are looking for name brand recognition who are coming to my buffet table, I'm getting people who actually are concerned, and they want to know further on how to so-called protect their castle. So, folks, if you came in through the blog, freedomreigns.us, you can go ahead and just go down to privatist.me and click right on it and go ahead and go into the healing portal, and it shows it. And it's got, matter of fact, I got my audios page, and you can, down at the bottom, last True Remedies at Work, it's got privatist.me right there and an icon. All you got to do is click on it. It's going to take you right over and show you exactly how to sign up. And by the way, my curriculum is on the home page, so once you sign up, you'll be able to click right on that home page. It says curriculum, 8-week curriculum, right on the home page once you get in and get signed up, and then you'll be able to get access to the PDFs that I put out last week, which is the birth certificate securitization scam and my birth certificate bond, so you can actually look at what one looks like with the red digits, Midwest Bank Note Company, on the beautiful bond paper, so you have a lot more clarity on what a true birth certificate bond looks like for those that don't believe that they exist. So, folks, I said we're going to be doing a curriculum so that we can share with people to follow the bouncing ball, and this is the only way I knew how to do it. So everybody has the opportunity to go take a look at this and sign up very, very easily. And yes, it's free because, folks, in order for you to get to learn on it, if you can't see it, feel it, touch it, then you're operating in a position of being vague and into script, and you're not getting the memo. So I want everybody to get the memo tonight. So for tonight, I'm going to cover a subject that I'm getting my brake speed off on people with third-party debt situations, left, right, and center. So I'm going to cover how that works and how everybody can affect a positive quickly, easily, and effectively on third-party debt. And I'm going to explain what it is. I'm going to explain how it occurs. I'm going to explain how it gets farmed out and how that you literally have no liability to deal with a third-party debt collector, and they have no in other words, they have no valid claim. They never have a valid claim. So, folks, I'm going to share with you my story. I got a brother on tonight. He's going to share a little later on how he did pretty much the same process I did, so for verifiable proof. Also, I'll be posting on our site so that everybody can take a look at them on because they did get in my back pocket because I let one through. I forgot to do my 3-step process to terminate a student loan debt issue, and they came in through the back door and they tapped into my checking account or with my employer with the so-called withholding order. But because I knew what I knew, I basically processed them real quick, and within 2 weeks after I processed them, after the 30-day period, I basically did misprision of a felony charge against the third-party debt collector, took it to the state attorney general because I knew what to say, how to say it, put a criminal complaint together, and 2 weeks later I got all my monies refunded, and I got them out of my pocket. I actually have the documents, the response documents from the Department of Justice, as well as the third-party debt collector saying this has been hereby resolved. I have the letterhead. It's not been photoshopped, just in case somebody thinks that I operate that way. So you're going to be able to see those documents, but the only way you're going to be able to see those documents is if you're signed up on privatist.me. So, and the only way you're going to be able to follow this curriculum for the next 8 weeks, if you're signed up on privatist.me. If you don't want to get on privatist.me, it's going to be a long 8 weeks. Because, see, folks, I'm posting everything there. That's the only place. That's why it's private, and it's for private members only. So this is a beautiful thing. So we can move forward, so you can get your collective mind on the right page. This is going to be a benefit to everybody. So because I like educating, but it's hard to educate when nobody comes to class with their books and pencils. So that would make you wayward, and I got to give you a timeout and send you to the back corner. But I'm not going to do that tonight because, like I say, I am partially to blame. I will own it. And as a matter of fact, also, if you came through the portal for In the Spirit of Things, on that page, if you'll look down below, you'll see our privatist.me icon In the Spirit of Things. And all you got to do, folks, is just go over the icon and copy and paste and put it into the search bar. And that will take you straight through to privatist.me, because I want everybody in class next week. Because what I'm fixing to cover over the next 8 weeks is going to change your life, and you'll also have access to those information. So anybody who joins next week, the following week, if they miss the boat or if they miss the class, they'll have the chance to catch up, see the attachments, listen to the audios, and really get a lot more clarity so that they're not operating in the blind. So this is how I work, folks. This was my most effective gift I could give to you for your educational learning curve to get you up to speed. So this is like picture word association, and I understand because I never got concepts unless I could read it, feel it, touch it with the attachments, the information. So I said the most effective way to teach people would be able to allow them to be able to hear as well as touch. So, folks, this is where you need to do. So, like I say, if you came in through the In the Spirit of Things icon, on that page you'll see the HTTP icon was posted by my producer, and she did an excellent job. And she also posted over at Freedom Reigns as well, and that's freedomreigns.us, and you can go straight down to privatist.me, come right in through that side door once you click on the icon on healing. And that's, as a matter of fact, that covers what I cover on the medical talks and stuff like that, which I do on Mondays. So, folks, it's really trying to get everybody up to speed in education, and this is where we live. Anyways, with that being said, there's absolutely no reason there shouldn't be everybody who comes to class next Saturday. We're going to talk about the banking system. There's absolutely no reason nobody should be in class without their pens and books and papers. So I made this a whole heck of a lot easier. So, as a matter of fact, yeah, you can enjoy all the benefits on the site. We have a cancer page as well now posted, and that's a beautiful page. There's PDFs, folks, that you can download for your personal consumption for free, because I don't want nobody dying for a lie, because I care enough to share the truth This is the stuff they don't talk about in medical school. This is the stuff, and I was a Navy doc, so I know a little bit about what they do and don't talk about. And they sure as hell don't talk about effective modalities outside of big pharma, FDA, big government, military-industrial complex, because I did about 10 years in the game. But the sad part is I've seen a lot of my brothers and sisters go to the boneyard over lie. And matter of fact, brother G up in Chicago, they sent his sister home to die, and we got her on net. She decided to take some direction on her own and use a nebulizer with the sodium bicarbonate and distilled water as well as Celtic salt. And all of a sudden, her body's actually starting to get well. The tumor in her lungs have shrunk. This is a report I got last week. And the doctor can't understand why, because he just sent her home to die after they done nuked her with all the dadgum chemical therapies. Folks, like I say, they've been lying to us from the get. They expect you to stay asleep. They don't want you to change your paradigm. And that's what this site is all about. When I put privatist.me, I said, how can I educate my brothers and sisters in a proper capacity so that they don't have to die for a lie or get duped on multiple levels on how the system works. It's just big corporate whores in bed together, basically keeping my brothers and sisters blind with the aspartame, the chemical waters, all these other things that come into our bodies. And we wonder why 1 out of 3, and I think it's more like 1 out of 2 are getting cancer these days. So, folks, 1 out of 2 is going to meet your door, but you don't have to wait till you actually get it. So you can do preventive modalities so you never actually get it. Like if you haven't read The 1 Minute Cure on food-grade hydrogen peroxide, that's a beautiful read, simple, and it actually tells you exactly what to do, how to use it. But you won't see them talking about that on the mainstream media because they don't want to cover any issues of substance. See, because then that would interfere with their big money game, their corporatism, because they make money on the big pharmaceuticals. So they're all tied together in the same little incestuous way, and they don't care about you. They don't love you. They would see you just as soon dead because you're just a proverbial money mark, so they can steal your substance, rape your estates, and send you off to the boneyard. Well, it's a sad state of affairs, folks. It doesn't have to be like this, and this is where the paradigm shift begins. So I created this site with everybody in mind because I love you enough, because nobody else has got a site out there in the whole stinking world like this. So if you don't believe me, Michael and I have got posts on the bond information, all that stuff that we got educational overviews. So, folks, this is really, really beautiful. So they don't want us to be talking about this and educating ourselves, so it's time to, like I say, move this train forward. Anyways, enough of that. If anybody's having, problems getting to the site, now I posted it. It's posted in multiple spots, and you should have no problems getting in. So, because next week, like I say, I want everybody at class with their pens and paper so that we can all get back on the same page. So this week I'm taking a little turn, and it's, I heard somebody not happy about it. He's not even doing hey, this is part of the curriculum, folks. This is life. This is your life curriculum. That's what I'm doing tonight. So it's all part of the curriculum, and it just might not have been, hey, you can talk about Sescu v. Trust, or you can go look it up. There's a 3-page, if you've never seen one, go pull it up on the computer, a Sescu v. Trust Act of 1666, and go read it for yourself. That's sort of what I was going to talk about tonight. So anyways, that we can get to next week because I've got more pressing issues to deal with, and that's what I'm going to deal with tonight. And I'm going to share with you a little history so that I can give you a fundamental understanding, because I understand the banking system, folks, already. I understand the negotiable instruments law, because we'll probably cover negotiable instruments laws just for giggles, because it's under the Uniform Commercial Code, and you'll get your own free copy, your own PDF of it, so that you can actually look at what I've been looking at, because, folks, that's how you're going to get clarity. I can't do all the heavy lifting. I can't carry your water unless you're willing to open a book or open the documents or go to the videos that I post, because I tell everybody if they haven't watched Change on the Horizon Part 2, that's a good starting point. If they haven't watched Santos Bonacci, The Vatican Owns Your Soul, that's another good start. It shows you on how they switch hats with you in court and play this game. So, folks, these are the little tidbits that open our eyes a lot farther and take those rose-colored glasses off so we can actually see. Anyways, with that said, I'm going to cover tonight a really huge, we're going to talk a little bit. Maybe we'll do some more Tuesday night on the Regal system as well, but I don't want to divert for the moment. Folks, tonight we're going to talk about third-party debt collectors. And what I'm going to share with you tonight is going to shock you. It's going to probably really, well, hey, I'm hoping it pisses you off. Because you know what? It really pissed me off when I found out it was one big scam and that there was a way to actually get an effective remedy to get the third-party scumbags out of your pocket. And folks, guess what? It's just a paper shuffle, and there's nothing to it. It's so doggone simple, a caveman could do it. I actually created an administrative process. So I want to start at the beginning a little bit, because I didn't understand how the banking system worked when my cable business went under in 2001. So we're going to start from there. So I want to give you a little clarity. I'm trying to give you a position of where I came from. I had excellent credit. I was running a 10-man crew. I was building backbones of cable systems. I was basically tying in systems, aerial, underground, system redesigns. So I got some technical skills behind me. Did that for about 10 years. And, it was a good industry. I made a darn good living. And then all of a sudden, 2001, because they started doing reverse or digital compression, they no longer needed to upgrade the systems to a higher gigabyte within the system. So there was no more contracts to do rebuilds on systems. So it's sort of like being in the construction industry, folks, like anything else. When there's no building going on, tens of thousands lose their jobs. Well, I was a contractor, and I tried keeping that boat alive when I should have just bailed out when I saw it turning sideways because I had a really good credit line. Matter of fact, I had about over $80,000 worth of credit line. And this all has purpose, folks. I'm going to give you some direction of flow tonight. This is a beautiful thing because you're really going to get it. And the beautiful thing is you have a remedy. And I'm going to show you that you have a remedy very, very simply. And most people are totally unaware, and they get dictated to, and they let fear. But once you have clarity, folks, you'll never be the same. You can't go back to sleep. And you can actually administrate them away very, very succinctly, easily, and effectively without ever having to see the inside of a court. So anyways, folks, onward with my story. I was in the system, knee-deep. I had, like I say, contracts, and I was doing them. And then the industry went belly up, and I went about $80,000 in the hole. Well, everything went after about a year. I was trying to stay alive in the industry. I was living off of credit cards trying to keep myself alive. Well, whenever it was sort of like robbing Peter to pay Paul, no pun intended, I was chasing my tail, and I had a bucket truck, I had cable trucks, I had other things. I pretty much lost everything. And you know what? It's all right because we don't own nothing anyway. So, but that's all right. I lost it, went $80,000 in the hole trying to stay alive for a year when I should have fished or cut bait a year before. But I thought maybe it was going to revive itself. Well, it never did. So I went $80,000 in the hole. And then all those credit cards I had and all that good credit I had in good standing, it went belly up. Well, after it went belly up, all that debt got farmed out to third-party debt collectors. And they were calling my house, calling my family, calling my mom, calling everybody, sending letters, love letters everywhere. Because I didn't know how to defend my castle, folks. I felt really incompetent. I felt really reduced, and I'm sure some of you have been in the same position. So I started researching a little bit about the banking system more so, and then talked to, did some research, talked to a couple other fellows, and they started educating me a little bit, and they said, well, you're aware that when every original credit card debt you have goes into default, they collect on an insurance policy, and they get paid 100%. And I said, say what? And I said, how does that work? And then they explained it to me. They said, well, basically, when you make contract and at the beginning of to get the credit card, they've already created an insurance policy on the front end of that. Let's say it's a $10,000 line. So while you're hypothecating, using the card, doing that, they're making piles, folks. But matter of fact, what funded that credit card in the first place was merely your signature. Everything in commerce moves via your signature. There is no money of substance. It's money of credit. Simply computer digits on a computer screen. And so, folks, we've really been duped on a major level when it comes to the banking system. So that's why I'm going to go a lot deeper into depth into it next week. So I want everybody at class. So if you haven't signed up at privatist.me, and, folks, if I don't get at least 1,000 people out of 50,000 people listening, I may just tank the whole curriculum altogether, and I'll just go independent, go off the grid, and move on. Because, I'm trying to share this stuff, and it seems like maybe everybody's not ready for the truth. And you know what? See, I can go on and do what I got to do. I have no problems. I know how to operate. I know what I'm doing. But you know what? I don't want to leave nobody behind. I don't want to leave anybody in the deep end. So I'm giving everybody the option to go get on the site, sign up, and like I say, if the numbers ain't right, I may not be back next Saturday. Who knows? Well, I'll be back. But folks, I may not be doing the curriculum the way you want to do it. Anyways, folks, it all starts at the beginning. So anyways, I went 80,000 in the hole, and I said, you know, the pain was so great, and my self-worth went down, all this stuff, all these feelings. Well, folks, what really pissed me off is when I found out that every dadgum credit card I had was already paid in full. I hypothecated the whole thing just off my signature. They produced nothing of substance, and then they're sucking the lifeblood out of me after the fact. And then, okay, folks, this is a real kicker, and you need to really get this through your head because you're not guilty of nothing. See, matter of fact, I'm fixing to set up another website called absolution.me because, you know what, everybody thinks they got to get absolution because they think they did something wrong. Well, folks, you didn't do nothing wrong. This is a system. It's a debt system. But when you defaulted, they got paid in full. So how does that make you feel that when a third-party debt collector, under the appearance, see, folks, here's the trick, this is for kids, under the appearance that you owe it and that they're collecting on behalf of the originator of the note, they're lying through their stinking teeth. They already got paid. So they got paid when you set up the account. They got paid when you defaulted on it. Then they got paid when they sold it to a third-party bottom feeder. Isn't that beautiful? So, folks, all these clowns that are sending you crap through the mail, it's a real simple methodology to fix it. See, they think you got a contract with them because you failed to respond. You have not removed the presumption. I've spoken of this on other calls. And so until you remove the presumption, i.e., like an offer and acceptance, their offer is basically accepted by you for your failure to respond. Well, guess what, folks? That's never, ever going to happen again to you. You know why? Because I've already got the three-step document process that I effectively terminated all third-party debt collectors after the fact, and I never got dragged into court, never saw it go to a court case. Because, see, folks, when you do this three-step process, this is how beautiful it is. It's so dadgum simple that most people don't get it. But, see, this I can teach to anybody. See, because, folks, I'm living proof. And I've got documents to prove what I speak of on my third-party debt with the student loan issue and got them out of my back pocket. I got a copy of the check that they sent back. I got a copy of the documents from the dadgum Department of Justice when they had to step in under the antitrust laws. See, folks, because I actually knew what to write to whom to where. And guess what? You're going to have the beneficial benefit of me knowing how to do that stuff just in case they want to get stupid on you. You know what? Because basically every person that I did the three-step process with on the front end was no problem. They all went away. But I let one through the cracks. And at this point right now, I'm going to let it go to break here and catch my breath. And then I'm going to come in and tell you, and I'm going to share a little bit about the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and about offer and acceptance, just simple information that nobody else is talking about to give you a little fundamental understanding. Because, folks, I'm going to get my brakes beat off with people having third-party debt problems, and it's so stinking simple, and it can all be fixed. So we're going to go into that through the next part of the show. Jorge, I thank you for hanging tight on the call. Just stand fast. I'm going to bring you in. So there's another brother who sort of did the three-step process, folks, on his own $40,000 in outstanding debt and made it all go away. So, folks, what I speak of, it's not BS, so that's why I brought another party to the game, because he's already done it as well. So all these people that want proofs, I'm going to give you the proofs. I'm going to scan in my documents. So next Thursday, if you're a member of privatist.me, this coming up Thursday night, you're going to get to see and get access to the documents I speak of. Not exactly how I did it, but exactly their response and giving me my money back. So everybody who thinks I'm full of baloney, I'm going to put it to bed. Let's get back to round two of third-party debt collectors. And, folks, anything that's been farmed out, i.e. where you've defaulted on the original debt, gets farmed out to a third-party debt collector. After you default, they send it off to some clowns at the circus who actually buy your debt for 3 to 6 cents on the dollar, and they think, hey, we're going to use guilt on them. We're going to guilt them for they negated their responsibility. See, folks, that's where the absolution crap comes in, this ecclesiastical law garbage or whatever. See, because they made you think that you got something for nothing, but you didn't. They got something for nothing because they hypothecated off your signature, your res, your energy. Isn't that special? And I bet you nobody knew that. So, folks, that's why you don't want to miss next week's call, because we're going to go into the banking system on a different level, and you're going to understand a lot more about banking than you understood this week. So if you missed that call, and so I'm going to beat the brakes off to get everybody in to pile up into the room so they don't have to pile in next Saturday night on getting because I want to have these documents posted for next Saturday on the banking system and what we're going to cover. So if you didn't grab your pens and pencils, like I said, there were 64,000 that came to the class this past Saturday. And out of that, nobody else. 12 people got in the row. 12 people got in line and got their books and their pens and their papers, and that was a beautiful thing. But that's just a little bit shy. So either nobody's interested in the curriculum, or I didn't do a good enough job telling you how to get to my classroom. So I'm going to give you directions again before I get started on how to get to the classroom. So for those who came in through the front door and they're on the freedomreigns.us site, it brings you right to, you got the home page, About Us, Our Team, Regal System, Guest Shows, Local Community Support, Information, RUSA Exposed, and Chat, Privatist.me, and Education. Well, at the bottom you got Privatist.me, and you just step on through the door, and it's really simple. And matter of fact, I don't think it goes. Yep. Matter of fact, if you if you go right to the home page, it's got Life-Changing Truths, and it's also got the Privatist.me icon that I'm clicking on right now, highlighted in blue next to Changes on the Horizon Part 2. And if you click on that, it actually takes you right into the home page. Then you're going to go ahead and you put the username in, and you make your own password. And then now you have a login. Once you log in, and I'm going to log in right now, and it's letting me through because I already had my password in. And then right on that home page, it says free 8-week course. If you go and click on that, that's where I'm putting all the 2-hour calls for the next 8 weeks, along with all the attachments. And I see right in front of me beautifully the birth certificate bond and the birth certificate securitization scam. Those are the 2 documents I covered last week. And some people don't like it. They said I didn't cover it enough. Folks, it's not my job to read it for you. It's 14 pages. But if you'll read it for yourself, you'll have all the clarity I have, because I'm not any smarter than you. You got to read more than one paragraph. Read the whole document, and you're going to have the same understanding about how this scam got perpetrated upon us and you at the same time. So that's how we're going to do this thing. So for those who came in through in the spirit of things, there is an icon in the spirit of things below. It's very easy to get. It's the HTTP Privatist.me, and you can copy and paste, put it in your browser, and that will also allow you to come through the front door to sign up for Privatist.me. So next week, I want everybody with their books and pencils, and if I get a pretty good showing on the load up on the site, then I'm going to be really happy when I come back next Saturday to do next week's call. And I'm doing a beautiful call on Tuesday with Brother Jaguar and Captain Jade on this Tuesday, so you're not going to want to miss that call. He goes to the deep end. Brother Jaguar's sharp tool, and he's going to cover some really, really good information on what's going on in Canada, and as well as the information covering, how this hypothecation works a little bit and how they do what. He's going to take you from the beginning. He's going to take it slow, but it's going to be a beautiful call. So you're not going to want to miss Tuesday's call. So I'm going to get back to business here, and that's all it is, folks. Business, commerce, because they're literally they're taking out everything of yours. And they're, like I say, they are looking for you to get absolution. Well, like I say, when you defaulted on the original debt, they sold it and they got paid in full from the insurance policy. 99% of the masses don't know that. If they knew really how the banking system worked, we'd have a revolution by the morning. That's what Henry Ford said back in the early 1900s. He goes, the bankers have really created a really neat thing. So we're going to move forward, and this is a good thing. Anyway, so let's get back to $80,000 in debt. I got them beating my brakes off, and I'm saying, how the hell do I stop this pain? So I had to start digging in through my education, and I finally uncovered all this stuff and how this whole thing really works. And, folks, that's the neat part about this administrative process. It's so stinking simple, but you got to do it. You have to take the action. And you know what? I've created an actual package of information that anybody can use. And folks, there's a lot of sources out there that'll say, hey, we can help you terminate your debt and whatever. You know what? Hey, I'm the only one who's bringing you the friggin' process. They might bring you the process, but they're going to do it for about $3,000. Matter of fact, I posted a site on an email I just posted. And matter of fact, I think it is on the debt termination page. I'm positive it is. Matter of fact, for those who came in through the front door at privatist.me, and you go down to privatist.me, and you go to the debt termination processes, and I'm clicking on it right now, and right down there, it's actually got, I thought I had, let me see. Nope, it doesn't. Anyways, it's a company called FCUSA. I think they should put a U in the middle because all you're doing is paying for their beautiful site for $3,000 to help you terminate one credit card debt, $300 to join their little club, and they charge you $3,000. Folks, that's their choice. But you know what? For a simple administrative process, I'm not a party to anything of that nature. It just doesn't work for me. So, but they want you to get absolution, the banks and all this other stuff. When you default, when the third-party debt collector comes to your door, he's giving you the appearance that he's been hired on by that so-called original creditor, whether it be Citibank, Chase, or whatever. Yeah, because he attaches their logo. Well, guess what, folks? He's not representing them. They don't have a contract with that friggin' originator, and that's why I asked for that contract. I also asked for the contract that shows that I got a contract with them. Folks, when you do this first document, by the way, yes, we're going to use the red box. Everybody's going to get to use the red box on this document because, folks, it becomes non-negotiable. See, because what you got to understand, we're going to talk a little bit about offer and acceptance. When they send you a correspondence, i.e. the third-party debt collector, they're giving you an offer. The minute you open it up, they think they got a game. See, because you didn't return it. We'll cover that later. But for now, when you open it up, they say, hey, we got a game. And you think, oh, wow, yeah, this is for that Citibank card. Well, the Citibank card already got paid in full, folks, when you defaulted. And if you'll read the bottom of the correspondence, in most cases, after they harass you for months and months, they'll say, hey, we'll do, you got a $5,000 debt. You just pay us, $2,500, or you pay us $2,000, and we'll write it all, and we'll call that a day. Well, folks, of course they will, because it didn't cost them but 3 cents to 6 cents on the dollar to buy the debt, and they are operating in fraud. They're through trickery because you didn't know that the debt was already paid in full from the insurance contract with the originator. You think you still owe something. You didn't realize that it was just computer digits on a computer screen. It was already settled. That's why it's a limited liability corporation. We operate under insurance. Everything's got insurance on it. So, folks, it's time to clear the cobwebs out of our head. It's no different than me sending you a bill for $10,000 as a third-party debt collector. Let's say I went and picked up a paper from the bank, and if you saw my name on the top of that document, I mean, they use these funny names like recovery services, this, that. Folks, they're all scum-sucking bottom feeders. These people are literally beating your brakes off, and, they all need to go. What my objective here, folks, is showing you how to everybody to terminate all these third-party debts. There's no fear involved. Once you understand what's really happened here, they can never respond and give the answers to the questions to your offer, your counter offer. That's what it is, and it's in the red box, non-negotiable. Once they get that receipt back, it stops the clock. They can't move forward until they answer the questions, but they never will. So I go a couple steps further, which is, like I say, it's already a creative package because I've already done this for myself. And it's effective. So we do a notice of cure, notice of fault, and notice of default. When you have those three documents, folks, hey, just a matter of sending them in the order I tell you to with the certified numbers on the documents. So if you can lick a stamp and fill in a couple digits on a piece of paper in a document that you can actually work in and just put the information where you're supposed to, where it's highlighted in red, you can do this process. And that's how stinking simple it is. But nobody's ever told you how to do it. Nobody ever told you are actually getting duped to pay and to do business with a third-party debt collector. He's looking for an easy mark. He's looking for low-lying fruit. They have no valid claim. And then guess what, folks? Guess what I'm asking for? I'm asking for the valid claim I'm asking for the account numbers. I'm asking for everything. It's a total uphill climb. That's why they never respond, because they can't, because they got no contract with you. The minute you stand up and send your first correspondence back called your counteroffer, they can't move forward unless they can trick you into answering the phone and contracting with them, making payments, or if they can trick you with more correspondence. Folks, if they send you any more correspondence after you send the first one, it's really, really simple. Everything you receive thereafter, you don't accept it because it's just more offers. And all you got to do, and you need to listen to this call and write this down, you got the right to send everything back. And you write down the outside of their envelope, undeliverable as addressed. Return to sender. You never have to open it up because, folks, they don't have a contract with you. And they'll get it because when they get your first memo and then your second memo and your third memo, the game is over like Donkey Kong. It's the three-prong rule. Everything's in threes with the system, folks. So when they get a notice of fault and notice of default, they know the game is over. They can't move forward. So guess what, folks? The game is over. There's no more low-lying fruit, and they're not going to drag it to court. And if they do drag it to court, guess what, folks? I know what to do for that too. So I'm not going to tell you about it tonight, but I know exactly what to do. So anyways, folks, that's one thing about digging in, actually educating myself. See, out of the stress and duress, I was operating from a position of weakness. Guess what? When you come to my class, because I'm going to be doing a class on this next Thursday, going into the deeper end of the pool, so to speak, for those that are in privateist.me and their members, guess what? They get to these calls, and I do one every Thursday, and I might start doing 2 a week because this is really, really a pretty good this is a pretty good subject that everybody is having pain and they're having problems. So anyways, folks, it doesn't matter what the bill is that they're sending you. If it's a third-party debt collector, you can do this administrative process. If you got 8 cards, you can do it for all 8 cards, folks. I'm not like these other clowns out there, like FC USA. Yeah, they'll be glad to take your money, $3,000, to do what you could do for chump change. And once you have the package, you can use it on every third-party debt you're dealing with and make it go away effectively and succinctly and easily. So, hey, you don't have to believe me. Hey, that's why I brought Brother Jorge online for a little bit later. He did $40,000. I did double what he did. So it's one-upsmanship. And he found out about it recently within the last year himself. He's not getting his break to be off in any way, shape, or form. When he knew what the trick was, when he knew it was already paid in full, he knew he didn't have to contract with a third-party debt collector. So, anyways, folks, we're going to move forward. Anyways, so because of out of necessity, the laws of necessity, I had to learn how to defend my own castle. So I dug in, got educated. Well, the nice part about this, folks, you don't have to have all the knowledge I have to do this. You just have to take the action. It's just simple. But everybody operates from a position of fear because they don't know how to defend their castle. Well, guess what? You got your daddy over here, Peter, and he's gonna lead you down not the primrose path, but the correct path. So we're going to cut through the wheat and the chaff, and we're going to get the truth straight up. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Because, folks, nobody did this for me. Well, now you have a grand opportunity, folks, to get your educational learn on in a whole different way, because I'm going to talk about this. You know what? Because I have that much contempt for these third-party bottom feeders, because once I really found out what was really going on, I was really pissed off. So, folks, I've written some pretty nice correspondences. I had an attorney coming at me from Sears, a third-party debt collector attorney, and he sent me his little love letter, and I sent him a little love letter back, and I basically told him I was going to lien him in perpetuity. I had a UCC-1, I had some other documents, and I never heard a boo out of him. He didn't farm it out to another third-party debt collector. He just went away because he knew I knew what time it was. He knew he didn't have no contract with me, and I removed the presumption by doing a simple administrative process. That's what it's all about, folks. This is the stuff we're not supposed to talk about. And guess what Peter's talking about? The stuff they don't want him to talk about. Matter of fact, I did an email blast today to all my members, and I don't think one of them got it because I think our lovely brothers and sisters in the corporate whore side of the fence is blocking my emails from getting out from my privateist.me site. I don't give a crap. Hey, whatever. It's all good. Folks, you know what? You ain't going to stop what's coming. Hey, the paradigm shift's here, and it's really coming down. I ain't warning. I'm just telling the truth. Yeah, that's all it comes down to. Anyways, if anybody doesn't know, so anyways, folks, when they send you correspondence, it's considered an offer. So guess what? If you don't like the offer, you don't have to accept the offer, and what you do is you fire one across their bow, red box document, so it's non-negotiable. You're rewriting the contract, not theirs, yours, and you'll be glad to pay in full. We offer to pay in full every time. And so, folks, hell, under the Uniform Commercial Code 3-603, because I actually read stuff, it specifically states that if I make a tender an offer to pay in full and the other party refuses to accept the offer or ignores it, it's already set off. It's the same as being paid. But because nobody reads anything, nobody knows anything, they weren't aware of that. So, folks, this is the type of stuff I'll teach at my Thursday night classes. So, folks, nothing to fear. You know what? Knowledge is power. And guess what? You're in the right room. So everybody needs to go sign up into my room, privatejust.me. And I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but you know what? How the hell are you going to get the memo if you don't come into the class? You can't get the memo if you're outside of the class. So once you're in the class, I'm going to give you your books and pencils, and I'm going to give you direction. I'm going to give you administrative process. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on so you'll never be duped ever again. If you like getting duped, stay on the slave plantation because they got plenty of willing victims. Everybody that's here tonight, if there's absolutely not one person, if none of you come in through the front door, like I say, then you know what? That's what you're saying is you really want to do it the hard way. And I don't want none of you to do it the hard way. So, folks, I dug in. So guess what? You get the shortcut, and this is a shortcut because your learning curve has just been exponentially increased because you just came into the right room. It's a beautiful thing when you can get an education because somebody's actually going to deal with something, a topic of actual substance and verifiable proofs. Remember what I said, folks, when I talk about subjects, if I can't prove what I'm talking about, I keep my mouth shut. Well, that's where I live. So I'm the truth guy. So when I know, I really know. So that's the fun part about, I know a lot of people think I'm, boy, that guy's just a blowhard. Well, folks, I'm not a blowhard. I can show you proof. Is anybody else coming through your side door talking what I'm talking? Nope, and I'm sure they're not. So this is the beauty part of you being in my house. Anyways, let me go ahead and take a look at something. I'm sorry, folks. I'm getting sidetracked, and that's I hate getting sidetracked. Anyways, I have a caller. I'm losing my train of thought. Anyways, folks, I guess I'm going to go to this caller. I think this is for Brother Jorge. Did you want to come and talk to me for a minute, brother?
Hey, Pete. What's going on?
All right, brother. Yeah, I never forgot him. I just wasn't ready for him. My producer thought I forgot about you. I was trying to give some clarity on how the third-party debt collection scam, I didn't even get to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Hey, folks, and I'm going to talk about that for a second after I get done with you, Jorge, probably after 8. We're going to go into the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and that's the rules that they got to abide by. And, folks, it's a beautiful thing when they have actual rules, too. And we're going to hold their feet to the fire. Anyways, Brother Jorge, you were getting your brakes beat off for a little bit from not even the third-party debt collectors. You were getting beat by the originators, right?
Well, yeah. My situation was, I was in a financial situation where I had to use my credit cards as well. So what was really beating me is the monthly payments were getting higher and higher, the interest rates, all that stuff, and I was looking for a solution. I did the normal thing any average person would do that, doesn't really know about the secrets of how these guys operate. I go online and I look for, people that help with debt consolidation. And as I was researching that, I came and stumbled across the information that you're talking about, where, these guys are basically when we sign a credit card agreement, it's actually a promissory note which becomes a security, and then these guys resell that and they get paid multiple times, not just when you get the agreement. They, like you said, when you default on a credit card or a car loan or any type of loan, they get paid by the insurance company. So I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of research on my own, and I found a process which worked for me. And I talked to a few people that I stumbled across as I went through this path, and that helped me also sharpen that process. And the process basically is just as when we talked about your process. It's basically the same thing. It's a three-step process where we are validating debt. The first step is to validate, asking the alleged creditor to validate the loan, that they are the rightful, that they hold that promissory note or that instrument, and a lot of other things that we ask them. And if they'll never respond to that letter. I've never seen one of my creditors or alleged creditors ever respond to me. And if they did, it was a very vague response. I could share that a little bit later too, what type of responses I received. But basically, after I did the first step, I gave them a certain time to respond. They failed to respond, so I sent them a second presentment, which basically put them in dishonor. And I gave them, because I'm such a nice guy, I gave them the opportunity to cure it. And of course, they didn't respond to that either. And silence is acquiescence in legal terms. They don't say anything, or they don't respond to me. They're in agreement with my terms and conditions, where
right.
I have no debt. And so for the third presentment, which is the final one, it's the judgment, where I put him in default. And these are all private processes. There's no court system involved. It's just me talking directly to this creditor or alleged creditor and asking them to validate the debt. And as they failed to do it for 3 presentments I sent them, that's when basically the game's over for them. They can't really do anything. They can sell it to a third-party debt collector, but I could do the same thing with those guys, and those guys run away easily. But I did it directly with the creditors. I did it directly with Bank of America, Citi, Chase, Discover Card. I did it directly with all those guys. And the only ones that really sent it off to a third-party collector was Discover and Capital One. The other guys left me alone. And I don't know if it's because, we don't have time to deal with this guy. We got bigger fish to fry, or the other little fish to fry.
No, right. It's just we're looking for lower-lying fruit, and you are the friggin' cherry on the top of the tree. So, folks, this is, some more irrevocable proof. That's why I brought Brother Jorge on the call, because, we've been corresponding for about a year or so, almost a year, and we met, sharp fellow, and he's up out of Washington area, District of Criminals. When he shared with me yesterday that he had done pretty much administratively the same process, folks, do you think this is a fluke? So now you got 2 guys having the same conversation. I did 80 grand, he did 40 grand. The whole point, folks, it's just one big smoke screen. But if you fail to remove the presumption, like Brother Jorge did and Brother Peter did, then guess what? Their presumption is assumed correct through your acquiescence, through being silent, that you agree to the game. So, folks, you can get off the crazy train anytime. Folks, it took me a year and a half to even get my mind right. I was a year and a half into that, or beating my brakes off. Folks, this 30-day rule is a crock of crap. The minute you send a counter response or a counter offer, that's when the game stops. And how you finish the game is you finish with 2 more so-called counter offers, notice of fault, notice of default. Matter of fact, what was that last document you called, Brother Jorge?
It was notice of default, judgment.
Right, judgment, right. Brother Michael's got that. Brother Michael and I were creating that document as well. So, folks, this is the beauty of this. When you use it, and it's so stinking simple, and you actually do it, because there's nothing to fear. The fear is in your head. You don't owe nothing. It's a third-party bottom feeder. If you read the bottom of the correspondence, it says, we are merely trying to claim a debt. And folks, that should be that's your cue. Hello, McFly, anybody home? Because that's what they're saying. Hey, we're merely, so because you don't deny it, or it's not so much denial, because you don't counteroffer the presentment with a validation of the debt document, which we're going to red box, because folks, I know about the red box, and this applies to the red box. My offer now stands in the red box as non-negotiable, and it's under their rules. It's under Rules of 4, Rules of 8, out of their stinking insurance laws. Gee, who would have figured that somebody would actually read their insurance laws and see what applies and what doesn't? So, folks, we get to have a whole bunch more fun, because it just got a whole hell of a lot bigger of an uphill climb. Brother Jorge was telling me, the documents he was using, he was putting non-negotiable, but I asked him, I said, hey, brother, did you put it in the red box? And he goes, no. He goes, he didn't know about the red box. So, folks, the red box has validity. That's why this will never see the inside of a court once you start the process, and I can teach it to anybody. Matter of fact, it's already, folks, I've already created the administrative process. You got no heavy lifting to do it. As long as you can put type up a couple documents, their information, the documents are already formatted correct, and they get the memo. So it's a beautiful thing, and it goes out certified, and you just drop the 3 in a row at the specific times, and now you close the loop. Now there's no presumption, and they can't move forward. And most of the time, folks, on all my 80,000, they didn't farm it out to any other third-party debt collectors after I did this. So that's pretty nifty. To me, that's a beautiful thing. And Jorge, I really appreciate you coming on the call and sharing this. So basically you did research, so you had to do some digging and find out for yourself. But you probably, I think you told me that, you got sort of, for lack of a better term, you had an expensive learning curve.
It was. It ended up being a expensive learning curve, to just add on to what you said about the debt collectors. When I got a debt collector letter the first time, I paid it right away because I was freaked out because this was before I learned anything. This was years ago. Because I was late on the payment, I forgot about it, and so forth. The reason why I think a lot of people get a little nervous about it is because it's coming from a law firm. When people think law, they think, court.
Yeah.
They think, it's all fear.
Right.
I never even looked and read the letter carefully. I just said, oh, crap, I better call these guys and square this away. I don't want to get in trouble. Now, when I started doing this whole thing, and then, Capital One sent one of my credit cards to the debt collector, I actually read their letter and found out certain sections of that letter which I didn't even realize. Like, for example, one of the letters I got, it says, unless you, the consumer, within 30 days after receipt of this notice dispute the validity of this debt, then it's considered valid. So they're basically saying, hey, you owe us, I don't know, let's say $5,000. Okay, and if you don't respond, then we consider it valid and we'll come after you. That's basically what they're saying. So why not send them a letter disputing it?
Yep. You know? Remember when you and I had the conversation? If I send you a bill for $10,000 and I say, hey, Jorge, unless you send me back a response saying, what do you mean you mowed my lawn for $10,000? Please provide date, time, and proof that you were at my property on that time. You can rebut it. That's your counteroffer. I'll be glad to send you the $10,000. But if you don't respond, then guess what? Acquiescence means that you actually agreed, just like what they just told you in that stupid notice. See, folks, here's the proof. He actually read you the document. And, folks, at any given time, you can stop the clock. If it's been years, hey, I went through a year and a half of not answering anything because I didn't know how to respond. Well, guess what, folks? Now you know how to respond because I've got the response documents that'll fix it. Oh, yeah, and for my brothers and sisters in Canada, it'll work for you, too. How's that grab you? Anyways, hey, it's 8 o'clock, brother. Can you hang around for a while longer and we can play?
Yeah.
We're moving forward on third-party debt collection processes or information on how literally everybody's been duped into actually believing they owe something when it was already satisfied right on the very beginning because they already underwrote an insurance contract on every card you defaulted on. And like I say, that should not only that made me so mad seeing red. I said if I would be a moron to give over to some third-party bottom feeder because that's exactly what they are, folks. They're bottom feeders. They're generating a revenue off a debt that was already satisfied in the first place. And if that doesn't really wake you up and get you mad, then you know what? Then whatever you got coming to you, I guess you're just going to pay it. The old-fashioned way, out of your res, your energy. Go out and punch that time clock for another 40 hours to pay something you didn't owe in the first place. Folks, that's the definition of insanity, to continue to do something, an act, and expect a different result. So, you know what? Now you're getting the memo. It's a beautiful thing. So you're all going to get to move forward on a whole different level. Matter of fact, Jorge, I guess we have a caller in area 562 has a comment for a question. I guess I'll let that through on the top of the hour for a minute, and let him on through. Deatra, that's fine. Yeah, folks, that's funny. They call everybody consumers, too. It's a con. You've been conned. Look at the terminology they use. You got to love it. Somebody in the queue.
Peter, here, it's Deatra. caller, area code 562. Your mic is open. Do you have a comment or a question for Pete? Area code 562. Caller, your mic is open. Okay, I'm going to put him back in the listening status there, Pete. Yep, just go ahead and just go ahead and carry on, hon.
Appreciate it. All right. Hey, let's. Anyways, what I want to cover, Jorge, is it's beautiful what you've covered in the last couple of minutes. And what most people are unaware of is you actually have so-called capacity to use their own game. It's called the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And, folks, that's called the FDCPA for short. We have that in USA Inc. I don't think you have it over there. You have a consumer CCA, or in Canada you have a different one. I actually looked it up. I know my Canadian brothers and sisters can find that readily. Terry knows it. Folks, this is the game. And you've been literally hoodwinked. But under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, I cover information for USA Inc. As far as and I, let them know that I'm aware. See, because if you're not aware, folks, it applies to anything third-party debt collector, even IRS debt it's used on, but I'm not going to get into that tonight. We've been duped on so many different levels, and once I found out I was duped, I got mad, and I didn't get it even. I just paper and ink, folks. I took their offer, made my counter offer. They never responded. Notice of default, notice of default, and the game is over. They never drug it into court. Didn't have the capacity to drag it in court because, folks, if they want to drag it, I knew also other information. If they wanted to drag it in court, you could actually do a goofy-ass motion to quash with the attaching exhibits A, B, and C. The judge is going to take one look at that, and the third-party debt collector is gone. He's done because, see, now you've got irrevocable proof that you satisfied the rule of threes, which is how they operate. Everything's done in threes. You asked. They didn't tell. You gave them a notice of fault, notice of default, and basically the game is really over, folks. But what they never what I never had capacity to know about was the rules of 4 rules of 8, which really do apply here that's the red box documents I speak of, and it becomes non-negotiable what I'm asking for on the counter offer, because I offer to fully pay. And, folks, it's a simple concept. So that's why I set up my classes on Thursdays over at privateist.me. So, like I say, I'm going to beat this drum because I don't want people showing up to my class next Saturday without their pens and pencils in hand. I mean, what do you think about that, Jorge? You think, Jorge, if I'm going to do a class, a curriculum, an 8-week curriculum, wouldn't it be nice if everybody could come with their books and pens?
Yeah. In fact, I think a lot of people should just actually do a little reading before they go to class, because what really helped me along my path was continually watching videos on the subject, reading certain things. I'm not an expert at the law, but as one actually reads, they actually can perceive a lot of things, and they can recall certain things, and therefore you can actually create yourself a little draft and create a pretty decent document to send to these guys. I mean, anything is better than nothing. If you don't do anything, these guys will just continue to come after you no matter what. Now, just want to add a couple things, Pete. For example, when we get credit cards, we sign this one-way agreement. We are the only ones that sign that thing. We say, yeah, okay, I'll agree to this credit card, et cetera, and I'll pay. It's my promissory note. That's the note, right? Well, that note is supposed to be held by that bank because that's supposed to be the security. That note should never be sold. But a security or that note is actually negotiable. So therefore, the banks can sell it. And God knows how much they make when they sell these notes, to whoever, foreign investors or something like that. But these banks do sell these notes, and they keep the proceeds, and you know nothing about it. And that's what happens behind the curtains, and that's the fraud. And that is what they're not telling you. And one thing about fraud is it has to be disclosed. If you don't disclose what's going on, then it's fraudulent.
So I think go ahead. I think they say fraud vitiates all contracts, but they want you to be able to prove it. Well, that's why we ask for the certain things we ask for on the document. And like I say, you always, and this is okay, this is what I want to share with people. You always want to do an offer to fully pay. That's going in harmony. Sort of like what I say to do to settle the bonds in court or before you get to court. You just want to go in love and harmony, stay in honor, settle the account. You're not creating a controversy, but you do have to have the right to ask for certain things like the bid bond, performance bond, payment bond, like on the court crap I talk about. Everybody has the right to ask because it's dealing with your account, your beneficial interest of your estate. They think you're the trustee. So this is the stuff nobody talks about. So this is the stuff exactly what I talk about. So, folks, this is a bonus on the third-party debt termination processes. It's so stinking easy. And you know what? You have nothing to fear. See, the reason people have fear, Jorge, is because they have absolutely no knowledge. Knowledge makes you, the lack of knowledge makes us all incapacitated. Folks, I was in the deep end. I didn't know what the hell to do. So I said, okay, I've got to get my learn on. I said, there's something not fitting here. And I said, I've got some homework to do. So I got myself educated, for lack of a better term, and I stepped in and I actually found out the truth. And I operated in the truth, and when you operate in the truth, then you operate in strength because you have knowledge, and knowledge is power. Jorge, how does that make you feel to operate with a little knowledge?
Oh, it's better than not having any because if you have knowledge, it's like having the ultimate weapon. You know, you can play ball.
Right.
And these guys expect us not to have anything to play with. They expect us to be dumbed down and not know anything. So they can run all over us and take, like you said, our energy, our res, or our current, and just make us continually work to live. So that's what we're doing. We go to work because we have to survive, and that's not the way things should be, in my opinion. And I'm not an expert at all this stuff. I've only been doing this for about a year and a half, and to me, I think I've come a long way. Through the whole process, and I continually am learning more, and that's the beauty of it. Is we can learn as much as we want. You have an abundant amount of energy to learn. So why not start learning as much as you can now? And that I think you're in the right path by providing educational section in your site because I wasn't able to find anything like that. I had to go do the research myself, and that took time. So it alleviates a lot of time from people. So that way, people have families and stuff. People don't have the time sometimes to go and read hours and hours and hours to find this information.
Right. Well, this is the whole point of me setting up Privateist.me in the first place, because this is the dadgum ground zero nucleus seat. Because I'm sharing with people, like I say, I've already been down these roads. So I never thought I was going to come back and see the in-the-box garbage ever again because I left that plantation. I moved on. And then, but what I'm seeing is I've been, over the last year, I've been saying, there's our brothers and sisters are getting beat, and 99.99% are stuck on the inside-the-box scenario. So I said, okay, well, I know about third-party debt termination processes because I got to practice on myself to the tune of $80,000. I said, you know what? Maybe I need to bust off the knowledge because that's where they're living. I mean, we've been talking about the private side and all that stuff. That's really good. That's excellent information. It's talking about codicils, stamps, informations, templates, how to divest yourself off the slave plantation. We even got a document to get yourself out of the body politic because, folks, it is true. If you do not terminate your self off the voter rolls, you're part of the body politic. And I believe in every court case that people get stuck into, that's probably the first thing they look for is, hey, is this a good slave on the plantation? So if he gives us any crap, we'll put him in line because he didn't have the right to challenge anything. And technically they're right. Even though it was never full disclosure on you signing up for the slave plantation under the 14th Amendment to operate as a voter. But, folks, you're just voting for the same loser because it doesn't matter which one, right, left, or indifferent. It's all the same scam. It's all the same corporate whores milking your estates in the system through your birth certificate bond. So it all ties in. And, folks, it's always about the money. So you know what? This is time to get your groove on. I learned it. I went into the breach. Brother Jorge went into the breach. We got our game on. We figured stuff out. Now I'm giving you irrevocable proof. And wait till you see the documents I post on what they sent back to me. So that shuts down everybody from saying, oh, well, I need proof and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm going to give you the proof. I'm going to give it to you in spades. So after that, either you want to get your mind right and move forward, or you want to stay on the slave plantation and see, because that's what I'm saying, George. If all you want to do is cast stones and not take an action to do something to defend your castle, so to speak, then you know what? You sort of got what you got coming to you. Especially once you have inkling of knowledge that could be applied and brought to you forward succinctly, effectively, and correctly. Because, like I say, I don't give bogus information, brother. I'm straight up. If I can't stand fast in what I know, then I just keep my mouth shut. If I'm not sure, I'll say, hey, have you not? Hey, Jorge, how many questions have you asked me over the last 6 months where I say I'll have to look into that? Have I ever bullshitted you?
No,
never.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
No, usually when I ask you a question, you're upfront about it, and if you don't know, you're like, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you. And that's what I respect. I respect honesty, and it's interesting what you're saying about the action part. It's definitely one of the things you need to take, or anybody needs to take. For example, when I went through this, the first thing I got was the information, okay, or the idea that maybe this could work, or maybe it doesn't work. The whole doubting myself type of thing.
Right.
And then you have to have the certain belief, because if you don't have that belief that this is going to work, then really nothing's going to work for you, because you're already lost the battle in your mind. You have to be strong-minded, because what's going to happen? These people are not just going to say, "Oh, you won, Jorge. We're sorry. We're not going to bug you no more." They're never going to tell you that in a response. I've never seen a letter from these guys ever telling me that. They're very open-ended responses. Like, for example, one of the responses I got after I did the 3 steps was, Mr. Valverde, we're no longer going to, as we responded to you previously with the same inquiry, we're no longer going to respond to you. That's what I get. That to me is a win. It means that they gave up and they're not going to bug me no more.
Yeah, that's
those
a beautiful
are the responses
thing.
I get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the responses I get. So
that's called a win. Hello.
You just have to read.
Well, here, Jorge, let me read this one document that I got from the Senior Assistant Attorney General of New Hampshire, and it was from Mr. Buffatti. He goes, on May 3rd, Wyndham Professionals received correspondence, that's the third-party debt collector, from your office, which was the DOJ, detailing the concerns of Peter Gosselin. Mr. Gosselin's complaint contained numerous allegations spawning, it appears, from a wage garnishment order associated with the debt placed in our office. Mr. Gosselin was refunded the monies garnished on May 6, 2010. Mr. Gosselin's account is closed at Wyndham and has been recalled by the client. Folks, they're not going to say you won. That told me I won. I got my freaking money back. I shut the clowns at the circus down. See, that's my win, folks. They don't say, oh, hey, yeah, you won. No, folks, the win is when you shut them down. You friggin' file a misprision of felony charge, and they all go running like little scared girls because they know that your criminal complaint actually has bite, and they've been operating in nefarious, underhanded trickery, and that's the bottom line. When you start asking for their bond, which I do, always to operate across state lines in commercial activity without my consent or my permission to deal with me because I got no contract with you, they got a real deep road to hoe. So, folks, this is what I did with them when they were knee-deep in my pocket. If you do the process before they get knee-deep in your pocket, it's a good thing. And here, let me share another thing, folks. I took care of the $80,000. I let this one through. See, folks, I fell down on the job. I didn't do my responsibility to remove the presumption from this third-party debt collector because after I gave further thought when they were in my back pocket, I said, oh, yeah, they were writing me back in 2007. Well, folks, I just ignored it. See, so this is why I'm trying to give everybody clarity. If you ignore it, they're going to find their way in your back pocket somewhere down the road, whether it be a garnishment. And believe me, folks, nothing's worse than when somebody gets knee-deep in your back pocket, comes through the back door like that. I mean, it's like upending. I mean, $200 a week coming out of my paycheck. I was not a happy camper. I was seeing stinking red. The problem is, guess what? I only could blame it upon myself because I failed to take the proper responsibility to take an action to remove the presumption. So, folks, guess what? you'll never be duped like that. If you come to my playground, I'm going to show you how to never be duped, and I'm not going to charge you $3,000 to do it like these clowns out there who act like they're going to give you something, and all they're going to do is they're going to leave you high and dry. See, I do educational weekly calls. Do these folks? Nope. But they'll be glad for you to pay them $3,000 to keep their website up. Jorge, you've had a couple instances of giving away a little bit of money, haven't you?
Yeah. For some of the stuff I was doing, like my home, some timeshare stuff, I was looking for a little more help and clarity on certain things, and one of them charged me a pretty good amount of money, but the performance was there. However, the result wasn't. And I still have one of those creditors trying to continue to collect for that timeshare specifically. I got different little options. I'm in the driver's seat, and I'll take different approaches to it. Again, these are just tools, and it's up to us to make them work. So.
Right. In essence, sort of freedom comes with carrying a little bit of our water, taking a little responsibility for our own actions to do our own business, right?
Right.
Right. So, folks, that's what Jorge's little synopsis is. He did go and, get a little help that he thought, but you know what? Nobody has more vested interest than you to remove the presumption. So don't put it upon somebody else's shoulder. So I've thought in my heart, I said, I know it's a tough stretch for my brothers and sisters, so I've gone off in the deep end. I said, you know what, I can do something to affect a real good positive to help literally thousands of people not get duped or beat down any longer if they choose not to from these third-party bottom feeders. I understand process. I understand documents. I understand content. I understand the red box. So, folks, I know I'm doing a lot of I's. It sounds a little grandiose, but you know what? See, I've already been to the deep end of the drink without the damn floaties on. You haven't, but guess what? Now I'm going to take you swimming with me, and you're not going to need floaties either when I get you to the other side. So that's the point of the exercise. So when you find a so-called mentor or somebody who has a skill, see, folks, I didn't have the luxury of having somebody to talk to. Matter of fact, I didn't have the luxury to talk to anybody for probably pretty much since I've been digging into this whole game. And, folks, that's tough. I mean, I'm learning all this stuff, and it's blowing my head up, and I got nobody to even talk to until, maybe about the last year and a half where the people who I now talk to, they're the deep end of the drink just like me. They were few and far between. Well, folks, guess what? You got one right here. You come to my doorstep, you come to my buffet table, you're going to be eating good, and you're not going to, you ain't going to worry about the tab, because the tab ain't going to be nothing compared to the tab you're going to pay if you don't get your learn on and come over to my buffet table and get the memos. What do you think, Jorge? You think I got something of value to share with the world?
Well, I think it's very important that everybody knows what these documents are supposed to do, because what happens is if you just get a piece of paper with a bunch of legal stuff on it, some verbiage, and you sign it, and you don't even know what's on that document, and let's say when push comes to shove and these guys bring you into court, let's say, you better know what you sign, what you're dealing with, because you're not going to have any standing. You know what I'm saying? It's important that everybody educates themselves, so that way they know what they're doing. That is the most important thing that I've learned, because if you're just signing documents or asking somebody to do the work for you, like a lot of those companies out there, hey, sign up with me for this much money and I'll get rid of all your debt, but you don't know what they're you don't know how they're doing it, then it really doesn't benefit you, in my opinion. Right, and that's the whole point. That's
the whole point of the exercise,
Peter?
Folks. Yep.
Peter, Theatra.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got another caller on the line that has a comment or a question. And I know you're getting ready for break here, but do you want to take that caller in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Pass them on.
All right. Yep, this will be caller from area code 859. Area code 859, your mic is hot.
Thank you, Theatra. Hey, Peter, good show. Got a quick question.
Sure.
I've been following you for some time. I'm a member. It's not concerning me. It's concerning my daughter. And I'm not 100% sure whether this is apples or oranges type situation here, but she worked for this company, Big Blue Company. You probably know which one I'm referring to. For years, and then she quit. And anyway, she got a letter that she was improperly compensated in her last pay period to the tune of $3,700. Okay, so I don't know if that's the improper compensation. It looks like a debt collection letter that I've seen before in my own experience, but I'm not sure. I don't know if this falls into the category or not.
Yeah, at the bottom, hey brother, at the bottom of the document, if it's a third-party debt collector, the giveaway is, hey, this is an attempt to try and collect a debt. If it's not on there anywhere on the front or back, then I don't know who they are. But all debt collectors, according to the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, have to have that posted somewhere on the document. So that's the first thing you might want to go do. Huh?
It's a different address from the main company address at the top.
Right.
The logo down at the bottom of the letter, and it's got recovery, asset protection recovery out of a different state.
Asset protection recovery. Yeah, they're a third-party bottom feeder, brother. Yeah, we're just going to, hey, piece of cake. Hey, we got the three-step process. Michael and I will be completed with our packages for everybody's. So for chump change, you can make them go away on the drop of a dime.
Right.
And pretty much, hey, brother, I speak from a position of knowledge. I come from a position of strength. So guess what? It's a dead letter issue. Matter of fact, if you'd like, you got my permission and consent. You got my email. Go ahead and make a copy of it. Send it over to my door. I'll tear it apart just like I do everything else. And I will give you direction and flow exactly how to put it to bed.
All right.
You got my email, right? My email is just about everywhere.
Well, the email you sent out today did reach me. You suggested maybe it was blocked, but I got it.
Okay. Yeah, you got my Peter E. there. Just say, hey, I talked to you on the phone and reference the conversation, and I will give you total clarity sometime during the course tomorrow.
All right.
All right, thank you
very
brother.
much,
hey, I appreciate. Hey, I thank you. Anybody else, Deatra, or are we going to break? Deatra?
Going to break.
Okay, we're going to break. Hey, folks, we'll be back.
I mute myself out triply here.
That's beautiful. Hey, sweetheart. Yeah, and we'll discuss what we're going to do for Lawrence, too, the other half of this last half hour, because, because I do show the love. And if anybody doesn't think I show the love, and they think I'm just about the stinking money, they better get their minds right, because I'm going to share with them, because I'm telling you what, I'm the only one who's going to talk about this stuff and get you right. And you know what? You don't have to have no fear, because I'm going to give you the power. And, folks, the power lies with us.
I hear you. I know, honey. I've been following. I've been watching, and like I keep telling people, out of all the people who've come in and out of the Freedom Reign store, you're the only one who showed me the proof.
Yeah, right.
And that's one of the things I absolutely love about you.
Thank you. Well, hey, let's go to break, and we'll get on the downhill slide. Hey, Jorge, you going to hang out with me to the end?
Oh, yeah. This is fun.
All right, brother, you are the man. I'm putting you for promotion. Can't give you any more pay, but I can give you an excellent job. It's been a beautiful show. Anyways, some people are not happy that I wasn't doing the so-called curriculum, folks. This is the curriculum. This is, we're in school. We're in class, because this is life. This is life substance. You have substance. I have substance, and that's why I bring this stuff forward. So you know what? Hey, like I say, you're in the right portal. Everybody who's listening on this call tonight, if they don't sign up to privatist.me for free, I don't know what to tell you. Because, I've been beating this drum for the last 5 weeks. And like I say, I do this because I care. And I guess people don't understand my love. I sound like I'm angry, but I'm not. In fact, I get excited. That's the type of personality I have. And but if I didn't give a crap, I'd go silent because, I could do this on the side all day long. But I want to cover issues of substance from big pharma, medical, the whole system, because it all ties into the same incestuous or whore-like relationship to make a money mark out of you. And that's really what it comes down to. So if we don't clear the cobwebs out of our head and step forward, we're going to be trampled underfoot. So anyways, on that... folks, I like to share information. This is where I live. So this is a beautiful thing that we have this collective mindset that comes to these calls, and you're in the right room because I'm going to bring you nothing but substance. I won't bring you stuff you can't apply. Yeah, I know a lot of people have mortgage issues, all these other issues, folks. I'm but one man. I can't do all the heavy lifting by myself. Everybody's got to take a little responsibility, and that's the problem, see, folks, because the whole system depends upon everybody else going to sleep. That's why everybody uses doctors. And like I say, I have nothing wrong with the medical community or doctors per se, just the ones who want to poison me with chemotherapy. See, because I know alternative methodologies that are effectively used every day because they send my brothers and sisters home to die after they make piles of money off of them. The average mark is worth $750,000 through hypothecation and through the medicines and all this other garbage. And you know what? That's not loving my brothers and sisters. That's destroying them. When you destroy every good cell with every bad cell, that's not treating, that's practicing. That's why they call it practicing medicine. Hey, go figure. They're practicing on you, and they're going to send your butt to the boneyard. You know what? So in order to avoid that issue, that's why I posted up a beautiful site called, I've got a cancer page, and it's free for everybody. And I got PDFs. I got information. Matter of fact, I tried giving away to get some donations for Blog Talk and Freedom Reigns, and folks, it's a sad state of affairs when only 9 people out of literally tens, probably all the shows combined, better than 200,000 people come to the dance for knowledge, and I'm giving it away for free for the most part over at my site, and they don't even know how to click on an icon to get over through the front door. So that's why I try and give you direction. I'm not chastising you folks. It may sound like it, but I mean, really, you know, they've been duping us our entire lives. So if you will just pull the curtain back a little bit, don't be afraid, because knowledge is power. So that's why I cover these issues, and that's why I create information and educations and videos and audios, because, folks, this is where you got to shake the cobwebs out of your head. And I love you enough to put it out there, because you know what? Mainstream media won't talk about this. They will just propagandize you until your mind falls apart. So you know what? If you want the truth straight up with both barrels, you're in the right door. So back on this again, I'm going to hit it one more time. So, folks, those that came in through the freedomreigns.us site, please feel free to go down to the privatist.me site. Matter of fact, if you just click on the icon and it opens up into the cover page, Life-Changing Truths for the Masses. Because this is where I live, folks. This is the truth, straight up, unequivocally, no holds barred. So don't be afraid. Don't go back to sleep. It's all good. Pull back the curtain, because you know what? It's empowering when you get your mind right and find out the truth. And so that page opens up, and it's got privatist.me, and it's literally just the click of an icon. You don't have to spell it. You don't have to pop it. You don't even have to populate it or anything. Just click on it, and it'll take you straight to the site. So I'm hoping that for next Saturday, I'm going to have a bunch of people at finding out about how the money system really works in America and USA and UK and my brothers and sisters in Canada, because they're all saying, well, does it work in Canada? Does it work in Canada? Everything works in Canada, folks. You've got a parallel to everything we have, because you're under the same IMF system. So since everybody needs a little bit more clarity, I'm going to cover the banking system next week. So, folks, you're not going to want to miss that call. You're not going to want to miss Tuesday's call. But this call, folks, I'm just giving you a leg up. You got a leg up. If you got third-party debt collectors, I don't care if it's old medical debt. I don't care if it's an old car debt. Anything that's been piped out for consumption for a third-party debt collector to try and come through your door, all you got to do is send them a little love letter and 2 more right behind it, and I promise you, the game is going to go away. It's going to put it to bed, because I'm living proof, and so is Jorge, and he just did it recently this past year. I did mine like 5 years ago, but like I say, I let one through the crack, and they come through my back door, and they got in my back pocket. Well, Peter doesn't go away quietly, because he's not the shy, quiet type. Because of my knowledge base, I said, I know how to fix this. Matter of fact, I had guys that worked with me up on the job. I was doing pipe fitting, and there was 5 of them sitting around the table saying, oh, that's a student loan debt. You'll never get them out of your pocket. I said, hey, now that's a challenge. See, folks, I love a challenge. That really gets me excited. And so when somebody tells me I can't do something, I don't know. It's like a military thing, you know, running up and down hills for 10 years. No jarhead was going to make me look bad, and I love my jarhead brothers. But, yeah, you know what? I earned my respect. I earned my place in that line, and they knew I could stand in the breach all by my lonesome, even as a Navy squid, because they used to have a bunch of squid jokes, folks. I was pretty much outnumbered, but we can have some fun with that. But anyways, folks, just to show you that I'm not about the stinking money, my producer, her husband's got an issue, and I'm going to share with you. I'm going to make this thing go away. I'm going to show everybody some proofs after the fact. Like I say, they won't send anything to him. They'll just stop. They'll just go away. See, because I know how to disappear these clowns. But he had a $2,000 debt from back 10 years ago, and he was, corresponding with them, but probably didn't have an effective modality to put him to bed. And he said he sort of fell down on the job. Then they farmed it out to another one, then to another one, and then to another. It's like, folks, it's called zombie debt that never dies. I'm going to put a stake through this friggin' zombie myself. Personally, I have a personal inkling because I love playing with third-party debt collectors. So I've taken up the challenge for my producer, and I said, don't sweat the small stuff. I'm going to take care of it. After I get done this weekend with all my other processes I got to get completed, because I'm a busy man, I'm going to fix it personally. I'm going to do the damn documents myself. So I'm going to make sure the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and I'm going to put a nuclear warhead across their bow, and they're never coming back. I promise. I will guarantee it. You know why, folks? Because I know I got the power. I know they're just third-party bottom feeders. My brother actually got duped because he had never seen this correspondence before, just another third-party scumbag coming through his door, so he actually opened the document because he didn't know who it was. So guess what, folks? Now he's got an offer to contract. Well, that's no problem. I said, just hold on to it, and Brother Peter will take care of it. Folks, it's $23,000. It went from $2,000 to $23,000, and yes, they said they'll be glad if he sends just a portion thereof because he doesn't owe nothing in the first place. Folks, it already got when it got farmed out, it already got paid. That's the way it works with the system. So the original creditor got paid on the front end, and then they farm it out and make it. So I'm calling it, they're looking for you to get absolution because you still think you owe something. It got paid in full. Once you get that through your head that it got paid in full, you don't owe crap. It got hypothecated. It got paid. It was insured, and now they sold it out to a third-party bottom feeder. Folks, I'm going to get you talking just like me about third-party bottom feeders because that's all they are. They got no purpose in life but to come through your friggin' front door and try and contract with you. Well, you're never going to have to worry about contracting with them again. So, like I say, old medical debt, old gas bill, electric bill, credit card, anything that's been farmed out to a third-party bottom feeder, you get to put to bed. And you're going to be able to because you know what? You're coming to my class. You're coming to my house. You're coming for instruction because I'm going to give you the friggin' beeline through the dadgum front door. I get a little excited, but folks, this is when you know what you need to know, you are operating from a position of knowledge. When you operate from a position of weakness because you have no knowledge, you're dead. Just like Brother Jorge has been talking about, when he got his learn on, he understood that he was holding the power. He understood that, hey, these are just scumbags who are everybody worried about court. Well, folks, if you don't want to go to court, guaranteed if you don't do this, you're going to probably end up going to court somewhere down the road. If you don't do this process and take a little responsibility and carry your own water, you're going to have them come through the back door, through your bank account, checking account, savings account, or whatever, or your employer, and start sucking sums of money out of a falsity. But because you failed to remove the presumption, and that's all it is, folks, it's a counteroffer removing the presumption, and it's a beautiful thing. And now we're going to use the red box and have some real fun because it becomes non-negotiable under their game. It's under their rules. So, folks, they don't apply to you, but they sure as hell apply to them, and they know it. And that's the beauty of what we're fixing to do. So, anyways, with that stated, what do you think, Jorge? You think I get too excited? You think I should take a Valium or something?
No, I think what you're doing is really great. A lot of people, need to know this information, need to get this information that are in situations, that might be different from ours or my situation. It's definitely something that everyone should know, how this system works, how the money system works. Who the real creditors are, not the banks, us. Who gives it value? We do. But yet we don't know this information because from the very minute that we're born, we are completely taught to be the bottom feeders, to be the peasants of the world. and we're really not. We're not peasants. We're the ones that give everything value. So that's when that's why I decided to take action on my end to do these things, because I said to myself, I have kids, and I don't want my kids to go through what I see coming unless we do something. Not just myself, but everybody. Everybody should get a piece of pen. Fight with a pen, not with the sword, not with the gun, not with any of that stuff. Fight with a pen, because, like you said, knowledge is power, and if everyone has this information, you become more powerful. And, they won't be duped, and they won't be suckered into, recontracting all over again to get more money sucked out of them. Because it's all just a contract. It's just contract is king, and they're contracting with you. Once they send you that letter, or that third-party debt collector send you that letter, that's a contract. And if you don't do anything, you acquiesce and you agree to it, and they're going to go after you. So, like you're doing, send them play. It's a tennis game. It's all it is, a tennis game. Send them back another contract saying, hey, no. Let's do it my way.
Right.
And that's what you're doing with that red box, and that's different than what I've done. Mine wasn't a red box. Mine was technically it was negotiable. So I think yours is a little more concrete, a more aggressive approach to it. So get it completely.
And it's really not so much more aggressive, Jorge. It's tightened up basically so that they really know I'm leaving no gray areas, that I really know what their sorry ass is doing. Sort of like dealing with the bond issue and stuff like that. See, when you know what to ask for, the securities, the wedding signatures and stuff like that. This is stuff you're not supposed to know about, folks, but that's what we know. That's why I like constructing documents, because that's sort of my forte, because I had 13 years of playing tennis with the IRS, and I was really good at it. I mean, really good, because I beat their brakes off for 13 years. So anyways, folks, this is where knowledge and power, because I was willing to dig in. And so, folks, I've done the homework for you. And now I'm going to bring my review to you if you come through my front door through the educational process. Because, like I say, if you ain't a privatist.me member, you don't have to have a slow learning curve. This is exponential. When I say exponential, it's multiplied. And because I've already cut through the wheat and the chaff, I've already been down the road. So what I'm sharing with you is a knowledge. It's from a position of knowledge and strength. Not from, gee, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Hey, let's try this. No, I don't try crap, folks. I do it. You know what? When I bring it, I'm going to bring it. See, because the only thing I want to know is where's the stinking contract. Because when I rewrite this offer and acceptance, they better be bringing their contract. They better be bringing something with other than digits on a piece of paper, because that's invalid. That's not verification of the debt. So if you get sucked into it, if you get sucked into that game, folks, you know what? Then guess what? It's a card game, just like the courts, the concealers. They're liars, crooks, and thieves. It's all tricks for kids. And once you understand that, you'll never, ever get duped again. Anyways, well, Jorge, I really, really appreciate you coming on the call tonight and sharing a little bit of love. So, like I say, where people, folks, there's nothing to fear. Nothing. You know what? The fear is when you operate from the position of weakness. That's fear. When you let some doctor dictate what medications you're going to go take, chemicals, because you've got some sort of cancer, and, gee, you have alternative methodologies called either between sodium bicarbonate, Celtic salt, magnesium chloride, all these things you're deficient in, as well as you got food-grade hydrogen peroxide. You've got Laetril, which is B17. Folks, this is the stuff I'm going to be talking about. This is what I've already talked about. Matter of fact, I got free download MP3s of all the medical talks, information I've covered, all the stuff they're not going to talk about. Anyways, Deatra, I guess you said I had one call.
Yes, you do. Area code 510. Your mic is open.
Oh, thank you.
Area code. Hi. Who do we have here?
I'm Gary. I'm out here in Hayward.
Hi,
just wondering a whole big bunch about, what was going on beyond the debt collector, like with the IRS and, even the mortgages. Is this all the same thing?
It's all the same nefarious thing, and now most of them are just operating hubris. But see, the easiest ones to put to bed are the third-party debt collectors, because, like I say, the debt was already paid in full when you defaulted on the contract, because it got paid on the insurance. what they want to do is trick you to actually come and play ball. So on this specific issue, because this is inside the box, I'm sort of outside the box, but because everybody's still on the inside of the box, I decided to come forward and basically create. I've already created the methodology on exactly how to nuke them, and it really does work, and it's effective. So that's why I set up training, so-called educational classes on Thursday. So, but it's all the same lie. Yeah, all the bank loans. They were, brother, when you put your wedding signature on that contract, they hypothecated that thing in the back room. They did some doctoring of the documents, stamped it, sealed it, put an endorsement on it. Because you didn't do a special endorsement on the document or a special deposit on the document, just like they do in court with all these bonds. See, I'm finding all this stuff out, too, is how this game works. It's all one. They think that all these deposits are not special deposits, but general. And when they're general deposits, it means you waived any capacity to make claim to it, and they give it over to themselves. So they don't teach this in school. They don't teach it in economics. They don't teach it anywhere. They have effectively kept us so dumbed down to look beyond the pale. So we're all suffering the slings and arrows for lack of knowledge because of the chicanery that they've been doing behind closed doors. But you got a lot of us peeling the onion back, brother, and it's rotten all the way to the core, and they know they've been caught with their freaking hands in the proverbial cookie jar, and we're going to move this train down the road further. Otherwise, because, see, brother, I got 2 kids, and I don't want them inheriting this scummy, sucking, bottom-feeding garbage any longer because, you know what, they become the next victim. So as their daddy, it's my job and my responsibility as a father to say, hey, you know what, I don't have to lay down. I don't have to take it. I'm not warring with anybody. I'm just bringing the truth forward. So the truth shall set you free if you're willing to uncover it and look at it and call it what it is. So, by the way, you said you were in Hayward, California?
That is correct.
Yeah, I used to go out with a girl there back in '85 when I was stationed at Treasure Island. I think I sent you an email on that.
I think you did, but I couldn't find her.
I gave you her name. Dude, that was that was 28 years ago. She was something else. Anyways, anyway, sorry to bring that up, folks. Anyways, hey, it's a small world. I did time over there in Treasure Island for 3 months, pending orders to go to another command. But brother, you're pretty much on the mark. This whole thing's just one big duplicitous sleight of hand game. But now we're opening our eyes and learning about the game so that we can operate in the game in a different capacity, in the proper capacity. So if you stay tuned for more of what we do here, you're going to start getting more of the memo. So it's a beautiful thing. I thank you for coming to the call.
One other question here, sir.
Sure.
I have a friend who may be facing a court thing over some, foreclosure stuff.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if there would be any way of talking with you, maybe privately to see if we can give him a helping hand. Yeah.
You and 5,000 others, brother. I said, you know what? I'm not until me and my other brother Mike, we're working on things, but at this point in time, no remedy on that. But I do definitely know that there's remedy on the third part, debt termination processes, effectively. Okay. But that's sort of a deeper end of the pond. But I am working on it. So stand faster because I'm really hoping to have some capacity to work that within the next probably 60 to 90 days because Peter doesn't go to sleep much.
Okay. I'm glad you like coffee.
Hey, Pete.
What's that? Yep.
Peter, can you hear me? It's Jorge.
Yes, I can.
Okay, I just want to share something in regards to the caller and his question as well, if I may.
What's that?
What's that?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
Yep. Just a quick note. For credit cards, unsecured debt, which means that there's nothing backing that debt. Those again are the easiest, like Pete says. It's pretty much a bulletproof to get those out of the way. The homes are a little tricky, a little more difficult, and I can tell you from experience because I'm dealing with the house situation right now. When I woke up to all this stuff a year and a half ago, I was the perfect slave, basically. I
Yep.
had perfect credit. I paid my bills on time. I was in debt the way they wanted me to be. I went to work so I can pay all my bills. And when I found out all about this, I said, oh, my God, this can't be true. So after I decided to start looking into the mortgage situation, I sent a proof of claim letter to Bank of America. Mind you, I never missed a payment ever in my house.
Right.
They transferred my loan right away. They sold my loan to a servicer called Greentree immediately. I got a letter back within a week saying, your loan has been transferred or sold. And that to me it just shocked me, because why would they sell my loan from a letter I just sent within a week? And I never missed my payment.
They're scumbags. Yeah, Michael's dealt with Greentree too. Remember they sold I want to cover this for 2 seconds, and no more callers, folks. I'm sorry because we're going to be closing in about 2 minutes. But I want to share this what Brother Jorge is covering with because folks, this is how scummy they are. Michael did an actual he settled the debt. They sent him the bill paid in full, and then they reneged and still dragged it to the court and issued a default against him, even though he had the document paid in full. So, folks, you got to love how these scumbags operate, and I call them that because that's what they are, folks. These are bottom feeders. But that's all right. You know what? We can all stand in the breach together and have some real fun against third-party debt collectors. This is where you can make an impact. Yeah, this will show the bankers when tens and hundreds of thousands start waking up just a little bit and just administrating simple process that actually is effective, because it shows they got no power over you because it was a scam in the first place. When it got farmed out, it's a dead letter issue, folks. It's only through tricks that they try and come through your door. So if you give them over the power, you lose. I'm going to show you how to never, ever give over the power with third-party debt termination processes. So guess what? You're in the right room, and if you haven't signed up on privatist.me by yet, and when all the portals are available, shame on you, because next week we're coming to my class next Saturday, and I hope everybody's got their books and pens. And Brother Jorge, I thank you so much for coming to the show tonight, folks, and I thank everybody who came on the show tonight. For all these people, hear people talking in the background saying, we didn't know it was class. Folks, it's when you come to my house, we're always in class. So if you missed this show, hey, you can catch it later maybe. Anyways, Deatra, thank you very much for producing the show. And Jorge, I'll catch you on the rebound. And folks, come back Tuesday and hear some words of extremely good overviews on the system for my brothers and sisters in Canada, but it also applies here in USA Inc. with Captain Jade. So that'll be Tuesday at 7 to 9. We'll see you then. Over and out. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, George.